Hello everybody, my name is Trisha Clark. Today I'll be doing a presentation on why communication is important in a relationship. There are three types of relationship a person can have. Those are your personal relationship involving your spouse and your kids, your work relationship involving your boss and coworker and clients, and your friendships involving the people that are close to you in your life. All these are important relationships to have a good communication base in. Let me ask you this. What does communication do for you in a relationship? When it comes to your spouse, communication helps you know what's going on in each other's life. It helps you keep updated in each other's life. It helps you be able to talk to each other about any problems you may have. When you communicate with your spouse, you can find out why her day was stressful, whether the kid's sick or not today, and also, most important, you can find out how can I help my spouse, and all that can be accomplished through communication. With your kids, when you communicate with them, you can find out how's school going. You can find out who they like, who's messing with them, what teachers do they have, how are their grades. All this requires communication. And also, you can verbally communicate, but communication is also actively listening to what the other person has to say. It's actively acknowledging how their day is going. This is important to have a strong relationship. Communication makes your marriage stronger. It builds a foundation to have a marriage on. It builds a foundation and relationship with your kids. It lets them know that what they're going through is important to you. Communication with them does all these things. Without communication, your life would be in chaos. You wouldn't know what your spouse is going through. You wouldn't know what your kids are going through. And it could lead to a lot of conflict and frustrated feelings in the relationship. That's why communication is so important. When it comes to your spouse, you communicate with your spouse that, hey, I'm going to be working late today. I usually get off at 4. I'm not going to get off to 6 tonight. Instead of, if you don't communicate, you don't say anything, she's waiting for you, dinner's waiting for you, and she's worried about why you're not home, and vice versa. If you have to go to the store, making it run to the store, and you're the wife, and you're at home, and every day your husband comes home at 4, and you decide to go to the store at 4, and he's home to an empty house, and he's worrying about, where's my wife? She's always home. This is not her usual routine. Communication can help with all that. Could help put aside any fears or misunderstandings, and it just can help with the relationship all around. The next communication is in your work. Your boss. You need to communicate with your boss on any projects or assignments he might give you. You need to communicate with your boss if you're going to be late turning something in, because not only when you turn something in late does it affect you, it affects him. And so you have to answer to somebody. So if you don't communicate with your boss, why is the assignment late or why is the project late, then he won't know. He will feel like you just didn't do it. So that's why communication is important. You need to communicate with your coworkers. You could be working on a project with them, and something unexpected in your life comes up, and you're not able to do your part, and these people are depending on you. You need to communicate with them, and let them know something home related came up, and the project won't get done. Because if not, everybody will be scrambling around last minute trying to get stuff done. That if you just communicated and said, "Hey, Bob, I'm sorry, something came up. Can you cover this for me?" And Bob probably would have had no problem doing it. But since nobody said anything, everybody's in a bind now. So that's why communication is so important when it comes to your work life. You have your coworkers to answer to, you have your boss to answer to, and you have clients to answer to. If you tell your client you're going to give an insurance deal for them or help them with a settlement, and they're expecting a call and the closing date's coming up, and you don't do your part and you don't communicate with them that, hey, I'm sorry something unexpected came up, then everybody's just left out in the wind. So that is why communication is so important. Next is your friendship. With having a spouse and having work, friendships usually the ones that suffer the most. If you have a friend and you know y'all meet every Tuesday for chips and wings, and you know you're not going to make it Tuesday, you need to communicate in advance saying, hey, I know we meet, but I'm not going to be able to make it, because this helps strengthen the friendship. This helps, lets the friends see that you're just not putting them off, that you know you value their time and you value your friendship with them. Just a simple text would do, a simple call. All this is communicating, not just letting stuff fall to the side because, oh, they will understand. You actively keep people in your life informed. If you make something important to you or someone important to you, then you become important to them. So just make sure you communicate in everyday life to build strong foundations all around. Your goal should be to have a strong communication base because it can have a strong foundation. And just keep communicating with everybody in your life. Thank you.